So friends, we are in chapter 14 in the book, The Eternal Validity of the Soul, SETH speaks. This chapter, SETH Master explains about the multidimensional self of God and also the multidimensional of our self, stories of the beginning and the multidimensional God. So let's continue. SETH Master says there are many possible systems of reality, not just physical one that we experience. So in this chapter, Seth Master continuously he remind us on and off that just don't limit yourself to this physical reality, to this physical existence, to this one physical existence, that what we cling to our self identity, right? So when we have to go beyond this physical reality. He says that this physical reality is only a small part of much larger multidimensional existence. So here we exist in multi dimensions, in other dimensions as well, that we have to some of us maybe we have experienced in our dream self but maybe denied, but so just we are thinking that is just a dream. So maybe we are doing something else, we are having some, we may stay in some other house which we which is not related to this house that we in this physical life that we are staying here. So it's completely different environment, completely different people that we interact with, and sometimes we see ourselves in a different form as well, even the different gender. Okay, so here that means we are tapping that multi-dimensional consciousness in dream states. So he says, Seth Master says, each individual exists simultaneously in non-physical systems where thoughts and emotions have immediate effect. Here in this dimension, so in order to get manifested our thoughts, it will take certain time. It depends on the frequency, depends on the energy of the thought. But in some other dimensions, the emotions and whatever the thoughts, it will manifest soon, it will manifest immediately. Like in astral worlds, in astral worlds, whatever we think, if I want a library, I want to see a book, so I want to research this book, so immediately we can see that, right? So in this astral world, this one is also another dimension and the reality of us, right? Another one of the multidimensional consciousness. So our current awareness here represents only a small portion of our full identity. Okay, if it's at 360 degrees, in 360 degrees, only this physical identity is only a small part. Consider it as maybe 30 or 45 degrees or something. So in this whole 360 degrees of our own consciousness, this physical reality is only only a small part. So why he is emphasizing, why he is taking so much like in detail, so that we can understand God, so that we can, unless we understand about ourselves, we can't understand the consciousness of God, right? So when people he says, when people imagine a supreme being, God, they often project human traits, so especially those they have or admire. So see, like if we want to this ideal, so God is it's like he has no form, but humans have given it a form just like a replica of them, but they give more power to that God. So they think that they have, so we think that God have the more power than us, but in fact we are having the same powers as God. but they are dormant. So we didn't even recognize it, or we didn't tap those energies. No, the concept of God has evolved over time, reflecting humanity's changing self-perception. As the perception changed, the God concept also got changed. So in earlier times, God was imagined as cruel and powerful because those were traits. So those were traits valued for survival. Okay, that's the reason. So people feared and envied these traits, so they attributed them to God. So ultimately, what happened? The idea of God is shaped in humanity's own image. So even the concept of God also changed according to the human perception, according to the human evolution, according to the human intellect. Even the concept of God also changed, right? So it's like, and humanity's own image, like it's mirroring our beliefs. So people started to project the God's image with based on their own belief system, fears and ideals. So see here, like this is how the animals sacrificing animals is all got emerged. You know, like because all these are belief system. No higher divinity or higher consciousness asks for this sacrifice. So so while all these consciousness are equal, this consciousness of the whole consciousness, the greater consciousness, got divided into different forms. Took different forms. So in the different forms, even animals are as equal as God. So they are from that greater consciousness. Here, when we speak about God, we should not limit, or we should not imagine our favorite God or society, like what we consider as God, like goddess or God. So here God means, every time when we hear the God term here in our chapter, so we have to think about the greater consciousness, which is formless, shapeless. It's just a consciousness. So from that consciousness, even we animals, the whole nature got created. Right. So here humans, in their own belief system, they they shaped the God. So they created the God concept, and everything, whatever the rituals. So some whatever um, these animal sacrifices, and they started from their own fears, or from their own belief system, which is not true. Right. So our physical body is a material expression. He says this physical body of ours is a material expression of our own inner idea of our own self. So we have planned this body. It's not like God created. We ourselves created this body with thought forms. How? So when we are in soul consciousness, when we are in soul form, so we have created this body. So I had this experience in the past. So in the dream, I got a big book before me. I was a big book was placed before me, in front of me. So I was writing everything. What are the lessons I need to learn? Maybe I couldn't able to remember all that, but the one strong I could remember is I'm like defining myself. I'm like like physical body. My features has to be like this. So even I was drawing a picture of myself. I have to be in this form. I have to my features and everything. I am like drawing. So we all created with the thought form. This physical body, it's like an idea of our inner self, right? So yet most people are only, he says, aware of the physical, and they ignore the non-physical origins of who they are, he says. So we only identify ourselves with this physical body. We only think me or I means this physical image, this physical identity, but we are that, isn't it? We are that greater consciousness. We do exist in multi dimensions. So um, recently, maybe 2 days back ago, so I had a call with our master, one of our master. So in that conversation, he shared his experience that he saw himself like he is existing in other 2 dimensions as a priest. So I clearly asked them, or the past life, or are you sharing about, are you telling about your past life? So he said, no, I'm very much clear that those are not past life. Even he got a clear information that from the masters that he is existing in another form, in another dimension, in another profession. Like he is like a priest. He's existing like a priest in other 2 dimensions. And here he is a meditator, right? So likewise, so we all do have so many experiences, friends. So we all do exist. It's not confined to only some people, or or say like to some masters. So like we all are existing, so in other multi-dimensional self. So to truly understand God, self, and reality, we must move beyond. He says, Seth Master says, you must move beyond your physical definition and learn to recognize the real power of consciousness and ideas in multidimensional existence. So on multidimensional existence, so we are not limited to single life. He says, like, we are not limited to the single life. Our existence is multidimensional, unfolding. It is unfolding and across infinite probabilities. So you see, like, there are many probabilities, many combinations here. And take it the example of that master. So he, like in many probabilities, he is existing like a priest. And some of us maybe we may be in a like a tree form, as a tree, or like an animal. So see, like we can take in not only humans. So again, don't confine, don't limit your, let us not limit that we take only human forms. We take in many like multi probabilities, in like probabilities, in so many probabilities, we take in different form, we exist in different forms. Okay. And accepting this, so his Seth Master says, when you accept this, it opens the door to a deeper glimpse of what God truly represents. So when we accept this, the greater concept of our own self, when we understand of our own self, so when we accept that, then we can truly understand the glimpse. He said only the glimpse, even the glimpse of God, then what God truly represents. So here, friends, so Seth Master is breaking our belief system. We were told, from the beginning, from our childhood, like we were told, and we were that the concept of God in different, through different experiences, and in all families we do have certain belief systems and some rituals. So he is taking us to the core, to understand so what God actually is. So we need to break certain belief system. So we need to be open. Okay. So God cannot be fully understood though through human language or physical based thinking. Like these rishis, when I was reading certain spiritual books past, I used to think how these rishis, they imagined God or goddess in different forms, how they got to know. And each master in the past, they have experienced in the same God, in they have experienced it in different forms. Like see, like Kali Mata. For others, Kali Mata, most of us, most of the people, they feared. So they had certain fear. They don't much go as close to compared to other gods. So the certain subtle fear they had. But see, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Master Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he loved her. He he saw the divine mother in Ma Kali, isn't it? So it's like when we tap our own consciousness, when we tap certain divinity, so we perceive God in different ways. So here, when I started my meditation journey, then the past question got answered. So whatever the doubt I had, how these rishis or they saw this God in different forms, because when they meditated, so these names and whatever the names and whatever they have described the God, so when in meditation they have experienced uh, the greater consciousness in different ways, and they have named and they have described in many forms, right? So again, God, he says, like that's the reason even human language can't describe the God, the concept of God, even the concept of God, and also the characteristics. What we say, like this God has certain characteristics, this God has certain powers, but these are all like, according to Seth Master, these are all like our thought forms. Okay, these are all our thoughts, the way we perceived, the way we look into that concept, the God. So he says God is not a creator of just one universe or one world, but of an infinite range of probable realities, right? So the whole creation means not on Earth or other planets or one universe. Like last week I have shared my experience. There are multi-universe, multi-galaxies, multiple worlds. Some planets, in some planets, so they are evolving, they are slowly evolving, and they are watching us here, what is happening on Earth, how these people, how Earth is evolving. They are learning from us, and we are learning from we are learning from other dimension beings. Like for example, take like star dimensions, the dimensions of 7 and 8, 9. So these star dimensions, we are getting information, we are getting in the frequencies, we are getting these messages from them, and we are changing. So this is how the evolution is happening. So some other planets, they are even denser, having denser energies. Okay, so there are multi dimensions, and there are some dimensions, they are having a well advanced technology, well advanced. Okay, that's different. So like these multi-dimensional in this, so God has created again. God means don't imagine one identity, so don't identity, so it's like a huge consciousness, and creation has happened. It's not like consciously, so it's not like there is no beginning or an end. So God is not a creator, so he didn't create only one universe, but infinite range of probable realities. And here, what beneath that we can understand here is, when he have created these multi universes, that means in all these multi universes, even we, so his consciousness is everywhere in different forms, and we are one of the form of his consciousness. That's the reason, my Patri sir says, you are God and my dear co-creators. He starts his speech with these words, because he knows that we are God. We don't know that we are God. Okay, so here, that means his consciousness is everywhere, and we And in this angle also we can understand that we are multidimensional beings, isn't it, in multiple universes. So he is not separate from creation, but is woven into all probabilities beyond what current science can observe. So even the current science can't explain the concept of God. To approach a true understanding of God, so we must look beyond fixed physical definitions and recognize consciousness, creation, and infinite possibilities as the essence of divine reality. Okay, so there is no true beginning or end. There is no true beginning or end. So why I'm so through parables speak of them to hear like beginning and end. It's like limited, we are limiting our understanding, we are limiting our understanding of time here. So we are forced to fit that concept in the time period. So there is so everything, there is a beginning and there is an end. But here, so we perceive time here, we perceive time linearly, so beginnings and endings seem necessary for us. So we think there is a beginning and there is an end, but there is a the srishti happened, so there is no where this creation has happened. So there is no point where the creation has happened. There is no beginning and there is no end. So it's a continuous thing. So as we shift our attention away from purely physical reality and begin to sense glimpses of other realms, our consciousness still clings to old beliefs, making it making it difficult to grasp deeper truths. So even when I am reading, when I'm going through this chapter, it's like for me, I took so much of time to understand, because because my core beliefs are different. So my concept of God is different in my mind. So when I'm reading it, I need to go through. So I need to detach from that old beliefs. So whatever I was told from the childhood, so I got detached, and I started to understand. So it took me some time to understand, even go through this concept. So making it so it's like for us it feels difficult to understand, and it feels it's like a deeper truths. So to grasp even the deeper truth, our belief system becomes hurdles in them. So it says multidimensional awareness is always available so we can tap that multidimensional through dreams, through trance states, and even subtle movements. He says even subtle movements beneath everyday consciousness. So in our daily in our the physical consciousness, what we consider it. So even in that physical consciousness, the subtle way we can tap that multidimensional self, and mostly in dreams, like in trance states also. So when we go actually deeper in meditation state, so in meditation, so sometimes we completely disconnect ourselves from this physical world. So we go into certain trance state. So in that trance state we feel like it's a dream, but it's like we are tapping some other our own different consciousness. So this awareness reveals, so when we have that awareness, he says this awareness reveals that reality is not limited to this physical world, but it is interwoven with it, around and through it, right? uh, Through this consciousness and within this consciousness. To claim that physical life is unreal is to misunderstand reality itself. For truly reality permits all appearances. So he says, don't think that this physical life is unreal. Even this physical life is also a part of this greater multidimensional self. This is also real. but no, the true reality is different. So that means the belief that, and also what we believe that the reality, so we have to even break that reality. We even not only the concept of God, but what we understand ourselves, so we need to break even that belief system. So here on a whole concept, what he is trying to make us understand is we are as equal as God. Okay, so likewise, even he says, God is not separate from the physical world, but exists within it. He says, within it, as part of it. Okay, just he is a part of this consciousness. That means we are part of the God, isn't it? So, and he says like he exists within and as part of all other systems of existence. He is existing within, he is part of us, he is part of it, he is existing within, and he is like within all other systems. That's in you know, in books and all the enlightened masters, they say that we need to look the divinity in others as well, in all other beings. In Shirdi Sai Baba's, his autobiography in Satcharitra, so he says like, I'm in tree, I'm in that animals, I'm in, so he says like he is representing, his consciousness is everywhere, isn't it? So that's what we need to understand. It's only not confined to only dogs. His consciousness is not only dogs, he's like everywhere. So he says like you need to look me in other beings as well, isn't it? So here, so we need to see the divineness in all other beings. Okay, so here we will end our discussion here, friends. In the next session we will go through the concept. He has taken an example of Christ, Jesus Christ. Now we'll see in the next session. Okay. Thank you so much. If at all you want to share anything, you can unmute yourself. Or we'll meet in the next session. Right. So thank you so much then, friends. Let's all meet in the next session. Thank you. So if you find this book, please go through SETH Wisdom books, friends, SETH books, so that we can break our belief system. So his concepts are the core, the truth is very near to the truth. Okay, right. So thank you then. Have a great time. Namaste all.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye, Isha.